All right, so we have to finish talking about the toolbar on the top of your Google Forms, and we've got two more options to talk about, the send button and the more button. We're actually going to start with the send button here, which doesn't just send something blindly. There's a lot to this, so let's unpack it and take a look. So when you open this up, you're going to be told you have three options to send your form. Here's the real story. If you are using Google Classroom and you are using forms for things such as quizzes or asking kids in the classroom something, you won't even use this send form button. We will look at that more when we open up the forms as quizzes section, but just know that you have many, many different options for sharing with people. So without any further ado, let us explain what we do have here. You have the potential to send a form via email to a person or a group of people. You can control the subject, you can control the message, you can have the form as a link in an email, or you can actually have the form in the email. You're going to get a higher respond rate if you include the form in the email. That's usually a good idea. Here you have options for sharing via Facebook or Twitter. I'm just going to discourage you from doing that right now, and hopefully you will abide by that. Okay, here, the link button. This can be somewhat handy at times. I can copy this link, or I can even have it nice and shortened. And if I open up another tab and I click on this right here, it's going to bring me to that form. Now, here's something kind of scary yet good to know. Notice down here, we've got an edit button. If I send this out to everyone via a web page link and people click on it, they're not going to be able to edit it. The only people that will see this icon when it's in this mode are people who have permissions to edit it in the first place. So on the flip side, if you ever get stuck in a place where like, hey, I want to edit my form, you might need to check this corner and make sure that, you can go to the edit mode that way. Okay, moving on. Embed. This is in the old days, we used to have to use actual HTML fancy code in order to put this in websites. You don't really have to worry about that anymore when it integrates with Google, so you're probably not going to use this one. Okay, moving on to the more section. There's a lot here. Here, if you want to undo what you've done, this is a handy one. Let's say a coworker shares a nifty quiz with you. Maybe you like their format or something like that. They share it with you, but you don't want to ruin their form. Best thing you can do is make a copy of it, and then you can make all the changes you want to yours. I can throw it away if I want to. I can get a pre-filled link. Now, the reason for when you might want to do this, there aren't too many of them, but I'll share one with you just in case. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. It's going to open up my form as it would appear as a respondent. And let's just say that it's an obvious question. We want to go ahead and pre-populate an answer for them. That way they have it. Like when they open up the form, it'll automatically pop up this way with it pre-filled. There you go. That's how you do it. I now have a link. And to prove it, I just have to paste it in my URL, and there you go. It's already filled in the correct answer there. So moving on, we have the print button. This is a nice little pro tip. Let's just say we get back into the schools. You may feel better off knowing you have one paper copy of your form ready to go in case you have to run the copy machine and make 30 in case of internet shortage, outage, something like that. As you can see, it just prints it out in paper form. Still a little goofy compared to making your own, but it's nice to have that option. Okay, here is a very important one, add collaborators. Let's just say you and your department want to share a quiz so that you can be giving the same one. This is where you would go. You would make sure that the right people can see it. You also want to make sure that the right people can edit it. And let's take a look at the last of the options here. You do have more add-ons here. Don't worry about the script editor, and a couple of additional preferences for how all forms may open up for you. There's a lot to all of these screens. Don't get discouraged. You'll learn the ones you need very quickly.